Saturday. Christmas comes early.
Unbelievable! Welcome to this incredible scene.
Bills.
To the end zone!
Chargers.
It's a touchdown!
An exclusive NFL game.
That's fantastic!
Live in primetime.
Wow!
Only on Peacock.
With a Christmas gift to their fans.
They're having some fun now.
Bills versus Chargers. Saturday, 7:30 Eastern. Exclusively on Peacock.
This episode is brought to you by Columbia Sportswear. It's snowing again, and that wind chill is killer. But you're not worried about that because you shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection. It's warmth perfected with tiny gold dots that reflect your body heat inside and protect you from the cold outside. No snow or chilly temps can stop you now. Go out anyway. Shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection now at Columbia.com/infinity.
Reboot your credit card with Apple Card, the credit card created by Apple. It gives you unlimited daily cash back that you can now choose to grow in a high-yield savings account that's built right into the Wallet app. Apply for Apple Card now in the Wallet app on iPhone and start growing your daily cash with savings today. Apple Card subject to credit approval. Savings is available to Apple Card owners subject to eligibility requirements. Savings accounts provided by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC. Terms apply.
The holidays are a time to feel and create joy. And what could be more joyous than the look on her face as she unwraps a stunning new jewelry piece from Blue Nile? How about getting 50% off your purchase? Blue Nile offers premium quality, priced below traditional retail. Their online experts are available 24/7 to answer any questions and make sure you've picked the perfect gift. For a limited time, you can get 50% off at BlueNile.com. That's 50% off at BlueNile.com.
All right, this is Thad Bell with the Kansas City Soccer Journal. I am at the Kansas City Current Training Center, and with me I have Coach. I'm going to ask you to say your name because I'm terrible at pronouncing names.
Yeah, I'm Lloyd Yaxley.
Yaxley. I would probably have said that wrong. Can I call you Lloyd or just respectfully Coach?
You can call me whatever you want.
Oh, yeah, we won't get in that trouble. All right, I've been wanting to talk to you and some of the other coaches. Just how did you end up in Kansas City? I mean, when I say how you ended up in Kansas City, not like how you flew here, but how did you go from being a goalie in England to being a coach in Kansas City?
Fought a dragon and the dragon flew me across the pond and now I'm in Kansas City.
There might be some people believe that.
Yeah. I mean, the dragon's friendly as a pet in the backyard now, but my journey was wanted to get out of England, was trying to make it as a player and wasn't really getting all that far, to be honest. And one day just kind of opened up the internet and started looking for opportunities in Australia, South Africa, Sierra Leone, and obviously America. The company that I ended up coming to work for was in Northern Virginia. So worked a summer in America, loved it. And then from there kind of figured out getting longer visas and then branched away from that company, worked in youth soccer in Northern Virginia, and then I volunteered with DC United Women before the NWSL existed. From that owner bought into the NWSL, formed the Washington Spirit, worked for the Washington Spirit, then moved to Orlando in 2017, was with the Pride from 2017 till last season, and then Kansas City.
Did you always have an inkling that you wanted to be a coach, or was it just because you were not getting as far as you wanted to as a player?
Yeah, I mean, when I was 16, 15, my brother did a soccer camp. My brother's awful at soccer. Like, he was the kid that would be chasing butterflies and doing all that. And I needed to make extra money, so I kind of went up to this guy and just said, hey, if you ever need any help, I'd love to help, I'd love to learn. And he was a goalkeeper coach as well, so me and him would do a lot of stuff in and around Essex together. And he kind of opened my eyes to good people and growing as a coach. And I enjoyed it. And yeah, I just kind of put the foot on the gas from there, and yeah, I mean, I never would have said I will always miss playing, but my playing career would have only took me so far. Like, my coaching career has gone way further than anything I ever would have achieved as a player.
When as a keeper coach, I've known some keeper coaches who that's all they want to. I don't say that's all they want to be, but that is the thing that they want to be. They want to be a goalie coach. They want to stay in that keeper room, that keeper union, whatever term you want to use. But I've known some that want to maybe move on to be a head coach at some point. Which way do you want to go with that, or do you know?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have aspirations of being a head coach at some point in the future. I'm doing my A license at the moment. Last year, when Matt had COVID, I was the head coach for 2 games last year, so that was like a little taster, I guess, of how things could be. I've been really fortunate that I've worked with a lot of good and talented coaches that I you pick different things from different people and start to develop your own thoughts and philosophies towards how you'd like things to be done or whatnot, and I think somewhere down the line I'd love to be given that opportunity.
Who makes the best head coaches? Is it from what position they played? Is it keepers, defenders, midfielders?
Well, I mean, I would always say goalkeeper because I'm a goalkeeper, and hopefully I'll be an excellent head coach at some point in the future. I think really the best head coaches are those that understand their strengths and their weaknesses and surround themselves with people that either bring out their strengths or add on to their weaknesses, if that makes sense. I've probably not worded that very eloquently at all, but I think a good staff allows the head coach to thrive at what they're good at, and then the things that they're not so great at, they can lean on those people. So I think that's one of the things I've learned, because I've been around people that try to do a lot by themselves, and it just ends up, it's too much. It's too much for one person to take on all these different roles. So
is there a coach out there or two that you think that you've learned the most from, that you would emulate as you grow in your journey? Yeah,
I mean, the guy that I referenced earlier that kind of got me into coaching, he doesn't even coach anymore. His name's Scott White. He's a guy that, took me under his wing and, helped me grow and helped me develop and brought opportunities my way and introduced me to really talented, good people. So he hands down has had the biggest influence on how I hold myself as a coach, how I interact with people, how I go about growing, how I allow people to younger coaches to come into sessions, and I try and be as open with younger coaches as possible. I don't want to be Medusa standing there, don't look into his eyes, don't talk to him, something crazy will happen. I want to be the warm, open-armed, hey, come and learn, hopefully you'll learn a thing or two. So without a doubt, Scott has had the biggest influence on me, because he taught me how to do things right and well. As far as in the pro game, you take bits from different people. So Tom Samani at Orlando was unbelievable man management and crazy relaxed and laid back, and then Mark Skinner was really tactical and had some kind of interesting ideas about doing things, and how he operated training was something new for me. So I mean, everyone that I've had an opportunity to work with, I've been able to take a little bit of positivity from, but hands down Scott is the biggest, and he doesn't even coach anymore.
Well, that might be a shame. Should we get him out of retirement?
I know, yeah. Let's bring him from the grave, or bring Frankenstein up and electrocute him and bring him back, because he's a really talented coach.
You mentioned how he kind of showed you didn't want to be that stone-faced guy or whatever, however you phrased it, but you want to be kind of warm and open and stuff. I've noticed you probably are one of the more animated coaches that I've seen with the current, or even with a lot of pro teams. When I say animated, it's in a fun kind of light way. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's something that I don't always get right. I'm probably more of the jester of the group at times.
I've heard that about you. I've heard that you're the kind of the joker of the group.
Yeah. So, which is good at moments, but sometimes it's the wrong moment. So, picking and choosing when to be the clown and when to be the sensible one. But again, I think that's what makes working with a group of people every day of the year pretty much. Like you have to bounce things off each other. But yeah, I'm definitely more lighthearted, but then there's times where you have to switch that. And as far as when I'm working with the goalkeepers or doing video review with the team or whatever it is, like I think I've managed to refine a decent balance. I hope I've managed to refine a decent balance.
Well, I mean, I would seem to think so from the outside looking in, but I don't know. But I know when a lot of times when the team will have a set piece, I will actually look over and you'll be out there kind of coaching them a little bit, or you'll be very animated about things that are going on. So I'm trying to get little hints from watching you to see what might take place so that I know where to focus the camera, but it hasn't worked so well so far.
Yeah, so I mean, we have Alan here now as well, and so me and him collaborate with the set pieces now, so that's been interesting. So some of my animation might have took a back seat because he's now more hands-on than I am, but yeah. Oh,
you're still animated during this. Maybe not quite as much, but you're still animated.
Yeah.
Kind of go into the group you have now with AD and Cassie and Jordan. Mm-hmm. There's, again, from the outside looking in, there's some very differences in those. There's differences between those keepers. How do you try to give each one? How do you try to improve each one in what they can improve upon while still building them, but having kind of different styles and personalities?
Yeah, I mean, they're a little bit like the porridge from Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Like, one of them wants it lumpy, one of them likes it smooth, one of them likes it hot. So it's, obviously AD and Cassie's experiences far outgrow Jordan as a first year pro goalkeeper. But the three of their styles are very different and unique. And the thing that I try to emphasize with them is, like, whatever their X factor is, whatever their super strength, X-man strength is, like, they have to bring that to the table every day. So, if AD wants to be an amazing shot stopper and make saves that others can't, then she needs to show that every day. If Cassie wants to be dominant with her feet in possession or come and claim crosses, then she needs to do that. And Jordan, the same thing. Like, Jordan's a little different, like, because we pretty much set this season, we said to her, like, this is going to be a growth year and you're going to learn from two really good goalkeepers and be in a good environment. So it's been a growth year for Jordan, but her ceiling is so high. I'm really we as a staff are really happy with the stages that she's took in developing her game. And AD and Cassie have constantly pushed each other as well, and you can see that by how we've changed goalkeepers for different games, and whoever the hot goalkeeper is, we're not frightened to play them.
Yeah, it's a little different than a lot of teams in the world, and sometimes teams will play one keeper in one competition, a different one in the other one. But again, from the outside looking in, AD may have struggled a little bit at the beginning of the year, but has just been so good lately. And Cassie's been pretty consistent all year. It seems like both of them have been kind of at different points that they're. But is that hard to make that choice? Do you go to Caro and say, yeah, this is the keeper we need to play now, or is it kind of, how do you guys do that?
Yeah, I mean, I will always voice my opinion on any player selection, regardless if it's goalkeeper, defender, centre mid, whatever. So, I mean, all I can do is voice my opinion on who I believe and why. And then, Caro has the decision to make. And then from there, I'll try and, verbalise that to the goalkeeper that's excited that they're playing, or the goalkeeper that's disappointed they're not playing. And that's been tricky at times. Like, you the psychology behind why aren't I playing and what do I need to do to play has been difficult to manage at times this year. But I've been really fortunate that the way that Cassie and AD have responded to negativity this season, negativity from an individual standpoint, as far as they want to play and they're not playing, is their mindset has always been, well, I'm just going to train harder at training, and when I do get a chance to play, I'm going to go in and I'm going to play well. So, which isn't always the case. So I've been fortunate that they've had a really positive outlook on, all right, I'm just going to put my head down and train hard, and I'll be ready when I'm called upon.
So I think I'm gonna run out of time here with you in a minute, but in your coaching journey, what's been maybe the biggest growth point that you think you've achieved, and what still do you think you need to achieve?
As in biggest growth point, as in something that I wasn't great at that I now think I'm really good at.
Well, actually, however you want to define it, it's like an open-ended question. But yeah.
I think my biggest growth has definitely been, when I first started in the league or in the pros, I was very much the goalkeeper coach in the corner, and they were my little group, and it was like Lloyd and his band of merry men would go do their thing. Whereas now I'm way more confident and comfortable with addressing other areas and being more of a assistant coach than a goalkeeper coach. So, and then it's up to whoever the head coach is to, I guess, figure out where I can best be utilised away from dealing with the goalkeepers. So I think that's been my biggest growth is understanding that I can be more than just the guy that works with the goalkeepers, and then showing strength in those areas as well.
Cool. Is there anything I should have been smart enough to ask you today that I wasn't?
No, it's all good.
All right, man. I appreciate the time.
Anytime.
We have other coaches out here waiting to come in. So
not those two. They're not as fun as me.
What's a question I should ask Lee, and what's a question I should ask Lucas?
I don't know. I mean, they're both really boring. So, I mean, you can ask Lucas about spicy food, because even if there was some chipotle sauce that we had at lunch, and he's complaining that it's the hottest thing he's ever eaten in his life.
Seems a little weird for an Argentinian.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't do spicy food at all. But they're two good guys, right? I mean, all of our staff are good. I mean, I have to room with Lucas on the road, so I'm sure we're sick of each other by the end of the season.
Is it a rule that every coach now has to have an L for their name?
Yeah, exactly. At least the good ones.
Yeah. We're not going to touch that.
Yeah.
All right, I appreciate the time, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.